Welcome back to another episode of Leave It on the Table, y'all. I hope y'all having a blessed day, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Today I have two very special guests with me. But before we get to those special guests, y'all know how I always do it. I got to take a shot. I don't know if y'all got no shot because Ali, you don't drink. And Omar, I don't know if you drink for real. You know what I'm saying? I got my little drink.
I'm not claiming none of that. I don't do nothing.
Sponsored by Bel Air. They ain't paying me yet, but I'm waiting till they pay me.
Facts.
Anyway, so let's jump right into it. Well, I ain't gonna jump right into it. Before I jump right into it, I gotta ask both of y'all, how y'all doing mentally?
Mentally, I'm in a good space mentally, but still a bit overwhelmed with everything that I'm juggling. You know, I'm excited for launching Friday, but you know, I'm also prepping to take the national test so I could be a licensed mortgage loan officer. So I'm like getting back into that right now, and mentally, I'm just like a little drained.
Little drain. It's all right. You'll be all right.
But yeah, I'm all right though.
Omar,
good stress, I should say.
I didn't give y'all a proper introduction. I'm gonna do that again right after we check y'all mental. But
I'm gonna just go ahead and hop right into it. My name is Omar K. Denta.
Bro, how your mental doing?
Also, I'm a designer. And I've been in the game for 6+ years with the designer. And I just appreciate you for letting me on your show, bro. But how I'm doing mentally is I'm clear. I'm clear. I have a understanding of what I do. Is just organizing it at this point. You know, like just being all over the place initially, and now having to put everything in priority from sleep all the way down to everything that I do as far as work. You know, so I'm in a clear space right now just to be able to create. So I'm doing well for sure.
That's good. That's good. Well, since I didn't get a proper intro, let me give a proper intro to these two beautiful Black entrepreneurs. So first off, we got Ali with the Love Your Cup. You know what I'm saying?
Big cup, little cup.
Then we got my brother Omar.
Feel me? Yeah, the right way. Y'all know what's going on. You eat.
Feel me? Okay. And these are two fashion designers that's coming up on the Uprise. If you don't know, you're finna find out. You're finna find out their story. You're finna find out how they started. You're finna find out A to Z. You feel me? So, without that being said, let's give a round of applause for these two people. Some noise! All right. So, which one of y'all want to start? We can jump right straight into it. Who want to go first? Who want to tell their story?
Omar, you go first, because Omar been in the game. So, you know,
all right, Omar.
I'm a student.
So tell me about how you started, what made you want to start, and you know, some of your influences that just, you know, got you in there.
Okay, so I started in 2014 on UIUC's campus, so that's University of Illinois of Champaign. And I always used to see, you know, like people who were dressing comfortable, or I used to see women going to class with hats on, you know, or I used to just get influenced when I was younger by people in my high school, or, you know, because we had a fashion forward high school. I went to Thornwood High School in South Hollywood.
Hollywood.
You know, let me just start there. So I went to Thornwood High School first, took fashion classes there. I was the only male in every class every year, every time I had a fashion class. So I took it with Miss Chittister. I used to adore like, yeah, I used to adore like what she was into, you know, like she was a great teacher. She asked me, she was like, you dress very well. Do you want to come join one of my classes? Do you want to take it as an elective? I'm like, of course, that sounds like something I'm gonna get into. So I learned how to sew in her class, and it kind of like lit a spark from there. Like in high school, me and a lot of my guys was like, and a lot of my friends or acquaintances, we were very fashion forward. Now, not necessarily we had the money to afford the higher end fashion, but we made what we had work. Hey. So you
Okay,
know,
because Aaron
just
Paso House all that was popping back
exactly.
then.
Man, I remember them days. I remember them days.
Yeah, so it led from just being influenced and being very trendy in high school. And then I got to college, and this was something that I always wanted to do. During the time I was in college, I got very sick, found out that I had cancer, and I ended up beating it. But one thing that really pushed me is that having that scare, it kind of pushed me forward. I didn't have anything at the time. I lost my job because I was sick. I was going through it. So I said, what could I do to earn cash and earn it quickly? Because I started falling behind on my bills. I started falling behind on everything. Like, so it got to the point where I started paying attention to people on campus. I started paying attention to how people dress, what they look like on a day-to-day. How could I be of assistance to this particular notion? So it came to the point I seen Nike tracksuit, Adidas tracksuits. I seen Nike hats, dry fit hats, but I didn't see trucker hats. So I started with trucker hats. So during the time I was sick, like I said, I went to the beauty supply store. I bought a hat for $5. I only had $100 to my name. I went on Alibaba, which is a website. It's a distributing website, an overseas distributing website. And I needed them to print, embroider patches for me. And I learned how to hand stitch the logos onto a hat. I started selling the hats. I doubled the price. I was selling them I tripled the price, and I was selling them at $20 a hat, got to 25, it got as high as $40 a hat because they was in so much of a high demand. So I was 3 months behind on rent. I was sick. I couldn't go to school, and I could not go to work. So the only thing I could do is sit down. I was strong enough to sit down, get patches made, take beauty supply store hats to get to the point where I made enough cash flow to be able to buy and purchase the hats that I needed. Mm-hmm. So I was selling so much on campus, it got to the point where you seen my logo on the campus more than Nike and Adidas.
Definitely did when I was there.
So it got to the point where I was doing my logo printed onto t-shirts, and then it left from t-shirts to crew neck sweaters, and crew neck sweaters to jogging suits. And that's pretty much how I got started. And then the perspective of, I used to love cricket. My father played cricket. They used to play it a lot on U of I campus. So it really pushed, like, everything around me involved the beauty of my idea, like just me not having my father, but he was an athlete, seeing different athletes on the campus playing the sport. And I seen it every day. I'm like, let me just piggyback off this, this something that in high school, but it's a comparison between the United States and overseas as far as the sport. So, I just blended it all together, and then I started getting into fabrics, making homecoming dresses. My whole vibe was just being a hustler, just doing what's necessary in order to get what I need.
To make it.
Yeah, like to make it, like from out of my situation of survival mode into the fashion game and leaving the survival mode alone and just getting creative and staying continuous with that factor and that notion. So that's pretty much how I got started. I can dig a little deeper, but I'm just gonna keep it playing for now until we
the basis, yeah.
So tell the people what the name of your brand is.
The name of my brand is UE. UE Supply Co. The U and the E stands for urban, which is community-based, us as people. They try to make the word urban sound crazy and the word elegance. I want it to be contradictory. So just being a group of elegant people, because we come up with everything. We come up with the means of class. We understand how to bring class from one point to another. So I combine the two together, the U and the E, urban elegance. And the supply company, I want to become a supply manufacturing company one day. So that's my true goal, to be able to supply you with materials. And
you will definitely be there. And I was really asking for myself, because I was always like, what the hell does UE mean? And I just be looking at it, I'll be like, I don't know, but I'm gonna buy it because I like it and I'm gonna support it. Like, what the fuck? I really didn't know what it meant. I was trying to put it together. That's why when I did the intro, I was like, all right. That's why I said love your cover. And I was like,
Right way in. You got to. I appreciate it.
If you leave.
Yeah, but that's my story though.
Okay, that's a nice
That's
little
dope.
jump off
Omar,
story.
I did not know that you battled with
Cancer.
cancer.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
me and Jamal, both of our heads dropped. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Nigga.
That's where the hunger came from. That's when y'all see me on Snapchat trapping it out with everybody on my camera.
Yeah,
was
I
pulling up,
remember that.
Stay
dropping
doing
off.
that.
Yeah, that's just because it was like I didn't like I was Amazon Prime before Amazon Prime. Like I used to just pull up to wherever you were. If you were between Champaign and Chicago, I'll come to any location as long as you cover my gas. Like if you wanted a jogging suit and the jogging suit was $100, I'll tell you I need that 140, 150.
Definitely.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's just like shipping.
Yeah, just like shipping.
Absolutely.
So it's just, that concept, I just wish I had trademark and patent that because I'm telling you, I was pulling up anywhere in the city. I used to pull up to barbecues, functions, pull out a table, throw my cloth on it, just put my products out and sell it. Like that's how it got to the point of like the clout perspective, like that hype, and now I'm in a position where I'm helping people like start their brand. So it's like I was coachable, now I'm a coach, so yeah.
And that's a great mentor.
Absolutely.
Off of coming from nothing to literally nothing to look at you now. And then with everything you're doing, we're gonna talk about that, but I'm just saying, like, you came a long way. And I'm proud of you. I ain't gonna lie, I'm proud of you.
Bro, I appreciate it.
That's some
real,
real,
like,
that's some real good shit, like from everything that you came through.
Yes,
absolutely. Like, I take my hat off for you for that. Like you just honestly just gained my respect even more for just sharing that. Because I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't. I really kept it to myself because it was like I used to be a heavier guy, I lost weight. So, just when I was in high school, like right after I left high school, I gained weight in college. I probably got to like 235. I'm like 189 right now.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a big guy. Like my Carbondale days, this was when y'all I think I was a freshman and sophomore, and y'all was graduating high school and still in high school.
Yeah.
So it was like, so like during that time I got pretty big. And then when I found out I had it, I lost a lot of weight. And then man, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I got down from 230, 235, and I got down to probably like 147 in like 3 months.
Damn.
Wow.
Yep. So, what I'm saying? I had a lot of panic attacks, breakdowns, mental stress, what I'm saying? So, but I overcome that, what I'm saying? And to God be the glory, that's my that's my new statement for, everything that I go through and things that I've accomplished, it's all through him, like you have like, and it's the thing is when you sick or when you going through the worst, like that you believe you can go through or the situation at hand at the time, like you have to go through it alone, where nobody can really, the support can be there, like as far as the word, somebody physically being there, like, okay, I'm here for you, a significant other or a parent or a brother or sister, but when you're going through mental stress or like physical stress, you really have to go through it alone. So you got to really talk to yourself, pick up yourself, like, and the only person that can really hear you and tell you what to do is God,
Facts.
So that's just real.
Absolutely. You know I'm about to share my side with that.
Yeah. So, it's just one of those. And I just, like I said, I appreciate you big time, man. I, getting this story out, it's just putting me back in like,
hey man, look, like I always tell you or anybody, I'm here to help.
For sure.
I ain't getting paid for this. I'm just here to put people's their platform, put them on the platform with their businesses. And if it does go somewhere, it does. Cause that's what I want to happen. I don't need it.
I always feel like,
if
I can affect one person, if I can affect just one person, then I'm doing something right.
Exactly.
That's all it takes.
And it's gonna be one person that see this video and be like, I'm interested, and go from there.
For sure.
Yep. Absolutely.
Now, Miss Dria.
Big dog.
What's poppin'? So, tell us your story. Tell us how you started.
Well, y'all know, like, we all went to the woods together and everything. And growing up, I started off playing softball. Like, softball was my very first sport that I played I played for Dalton. We was called the Buttercups, right? And started off playing softball, then transitioned to like basketball, volleyball. Like I did bowling. Like I've always played many sports growing up, and then in high school, I only cheered all 4 years, and so really enjoyed it and really loved it. And when I went away to college to NIU, Northern Illinois University in DeKalb, that shit went out the window, basically. Sports went out the window, and I was finding myself missing saying that I have practice or I have this and I have that. And I just miss being active. And so I did call myself joining a dance team at school. It's called Final Warning, and I danced probably for a year and a half there. And I do remember myself like trying to get into fitness in college and everything, but back then, like just financially, I didn't have the money. Like I've always been a fan of wanting a trainer, right? And it used to kind of like aggravate me a little bit when people were like, "Oh, let's go to the gym together." And I was never a fan of going to the gym with my friends because you don't know what the hell you're doing. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Exactly.
It's like no purpose of going.
Like, come on, I hate people like that.
And so I was never a big fan of doing that, but I remember trying to do it and it didn't fall through, or whatever. And so fast forward to graduation and post-grad life. So I graduated from Northern December 17th of 2017. And so 2018 and 2019 was honestly like the most challenging years of my life because that's when real life hit, like growing up, your parents tell you to go away to school to get a degree so you can get a good job, right? And I did that. And I'm like, why the hell am I still working in Foot Locker with a whole bachelor's degree? Like, it's not clicking. It is not clicking at all. And so I remember putting in like so many applications because I always knew that I was good in sales. That has always been my field in jobs. I was always in sales. And so I used to put in applications for, trying to get into the pharmaceutical world in the sales part, just a whole bunch of different companies. And I wasn't getting anywhere. Like I remember I even tried to be a flight attendant just so I could get away. Like just so I could get away from home, just so I could get away from the, community, how everything is back at home. Like I was like legit trying to just get away. Didn't fall through because I have tattoos and, flight attendants, you got to be very clean on your skin and everything. And so I gained a lot of weight because of stress. I was stress eating. I am a carb lover. I love potatoes and pasta. So I was really
Me too, girl.
I was really stress eating. And y'all remember like growing up, like I was always very skinny, very petite as my pinky. Like I used to wear double zeros, everything, right? And so when I started gaining my weight, I was like, finally, I'm not looking like a little girl no more. Because, I'm always been the youngest and everything at our friends group. And so I'm like, finally, I'm putting some weight on me, but it was all unhealthy. And I was finding myself being very uncomfortable in my skin to the point like I wasn't comfortable wearing crop tops anymore because I had a gut. I'm like, where the hell does gut come from? I never had a gut in my life and everything.
Happy weight.
So, yeah, no, it wasn't happy weight. It was stress weight. It was post grad weight. And so, like I didn't gain no freshman 15. My freshman year, like I gained real life stress weight. And so at this point, I want to say it was 2019, June of 2019, I got hired with T-Mobile and I was able to make more money. So I'm like, cool, working for a company that I seem to like. And, with T-Mobile is not a bad company to work for. Like it's so much bigger than just the front store. When it comes to like the marketing and all that, like they have so many different positions. So I'm like, cool, like I finally get into a job that I could build myself into, like if I decide to not want to be in the store anymore, I could transition over to the marketing side, which is what I wanted to get into anyway. Because I in school at Northern, I took a couple of marketing classes, I took a couple of speech classes, I took a couple of public relation classes. So I'm like, this is like more of my field. And so and so I got hired with T-Mobile, started making more money and everything. And that's when I decided, I'm like, you know what, with this weight, this shit gotta go. Like this gut gotta go. And so what my cousin, she had told me about CC, and that's how I got into the fitness. So I started my journey the end of August of 2019. So I'll just say September. So I've been in the game honestly for about 2 years now. Now that I'm just saying this out loud, realizing it. Yeah. Now that I'm just realizing it's been about 2 years now, and started to fall in love with fitness and everything. And I was like starting to see the changes with CC and all of that. So I'm like, okay, finally, I'm getting into my groove. I'm enjoying it. And the end of 2019, I got promoted. I'm sorry, excuse me, a dog. But the end of 2019, I got promoted with T-Mobile. And long story short, I had to move 2 hours away, and I had to move to Springfield, Illinois, which is, the capital. And I got promoted from part-time to full-time. And at this point, again, my brand has not come into my life. I was just so focused on trying to move up within T-Mobile because I was going to honestly make that into my career. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I get promoted to full-time. This is an opportunity to show that I'm management material. I could get away, I've been living on my own for 5 years in college and had to move back to my mom's house. I'm like, gotta get up out of here. I love my mama to death, but I miss, living alone. So I saw it as a perfect opportunity. And I remember, like, as soon as I got home, telling my mom, like, it's possible, it's an opportunity for me to move to Springfield. Like, we started looking at apartments like that night. Like, she was excited. She was excited for me. And so I did not plan for this move at all. Like, I remember I got the news January of 2020, and I had to be out there by February of 2020. So I had a legit 1 month. And I budget. Thank God my mom taught me the principle of budgeting and how important credit is.
Key.
And I was able to, get into my apartment and everything. I love my apartment back in Springfield. Like, I had everything in there, rent cheap as hell.
And it was big as shit.
It was big. It was big for a 1-bedroom for how cheap it was. And so I got out there and started working. And as soon as March hit, COVID hit. And because we were what kind of workers? We were essential. Is that what it was? Essential workers and everything. My store has stayed open. And at this point, because my team out there, we wasn't a big team. So availability wise, like we were spread it out, like we all had to be at the store. I want to say it was probably like at least 7 of us. Like, it wasn't a big team at all compared to what I was used to back at home. So if somebody called off, like, somebody's doing a double type shit. And so I remember Easter is in April. And at this point, my manager, we was like, one of my coworkers had to call off basically and had to, what's the word I'm looking for? Quarantine. Thank you. Quarantine. One of my coworkers had to quarantine because somebody caught COVID. And so long story short, we had to close the store up for 2 weeks. And I didn't go home for Easter. I stayed out there in Springfield alone for Easter, and was kind of in my feelings because I'm like, dang, this is my first Easter, away from home. But the reason why I didn't go home because my manager needed me the next day to start packaging up some of the inventory so we could get ready to close.
I remember
So
that.
that was so that was the only reason why I didn't go home because he needed me. So I'm like, all right. So, but I'm glad that I did it because I remember that night I was laying in bed and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep that night for shit, and I don't know why. I just couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning, and at this point, it's past midnight, so it's April 13th, and a random thought came into my head. I'm like, fuck it, like I'll just throw on like a pair of leggings and t-shirts just to go to the store and put up this inventory real quick. And then that thought led into, what if I come out with my own leggings? What if I come out with my own shit?
That's dope.
And so
Right way.
it was just crazy. Like when I say I had like a full vision, like a full vision. I still have the note to this day. I'm very big on journaling and like taking notes and everything. And so I remember like I grabbed my phone and I just started typing. Like you in my notes, like you could tell I'm just typing out whatever came to mind. And I came up with the name Love Your Cuff that night. And it's like as soon as I got everything out, I was knocked out cold. Like I don't remember falling asleep. And so I woke up the next day and it was so heavy on my mind, like so heavy. And I didn't mention it to nobody. I remember I kept it to myself for 3 days because I wanted to make sure that one, this was from God and not just an idea just because I couldn't sleep at night. And when I was living out there in Springfield, I really took the time to truly be alone. Like I didn't tell nobody I was moving to Springfield besides my family and my friends. Like I did not make it known on Instagram. I take that back. I did make it known that I was moving away, but I never let the location known. Like nobody knew I was living in Springfield. Like for months, people was asking me, Allie, where you live? Where you living? Where you living? Where you at? And I was just like, just know I'm not at home. And yeah, so I really took the time to really build my relationship with God out there. And when I mean I would just journal every day or whenever I feel like I need to journal, I would not go to sleep without talking to him first. Like I would pray, and how I would pray, if I was listening to music, everything would be shut off, music, TV, all of that. And I would just talk. Like when it comes to like praying with him, like you don't have to talk all proper or like you in church, just be yourself because he knows who you are. So I was just talking, I was just telling him, like, let me know, like you brought this idea into my life.
Yeah.
Let me know now if this is something that's meant for me. And when I say that he showed me so many different signs and so many different ways, like I tell people this all the time, like you hear so much in silence, it doesn't make any sense. Like when you really sit still and listen, you would never know what can come into your life.
You hear your
And
thoughts
so
when you quiet, when it's
you
quiet.
hear your thoughts so clear, like clear as day. And so so 3 days have passed, and I remember I was sitting in my living room and I was on Snapchat and Omar snap had came about, and I was like, you know what, Omar, I'm not gonna hit him up. I said because one, he been in this game longer than I have, so I know I can trust his opinion and everything. And so I can't remember if I hit you up on Snapchat or if I called you. I can't remember which one I did first, but I do remember telling you like, hit me back. I gotta talk to you about something.
I think it was IG.
I think it was. No, you didn't have an Instagram at the time. Remember?
Right.
It was Snapchat.
Snap.
And so so Omar instantly called me that night and I'm just like, dude, like I got this crazy ass idea. I'm like, I'm thinking about coming out with my own brand and everything. I'm like, I'm coming to you because I trust your opinion. I'm like, I know that you would not steer me wrong and everything. And Omar was just so open. He's like, all right, like tell me about it. And I'm like, mind you, I'm like, I just came up with the name the same night. I'm like, this is the very first name I thought of. So be honest on what you think of it. And I told him like it's Love Your Cuff. And I remember it was like a quick silent. And then he was like, that shit colder. He's like, that shit hot. And ever since he said that, I was like, if Omar fucking with it, then I'm doing something right.
Right away.
And so yeah, so that was the start of it. So honestly, Omar like really spoke life into my brand. Like he was saying so much stuff like, oh, I could see it here, I could see it doing this, and I could see it doing that. And that's how I got started. And because of him, he introduced me to Jessica. And I even gave Jessica, I hit her up probably about a month ago, just again thanking her for getting everything out of here onto paper. Mm-hmm. So that was basically how Love Your Cuff came.
Damn, that's a long ass story. No, but that was a good story. You gave where it started with, and then to where it is now. And Friday, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, and it was like, you know, like I didn't want to. Well, that's kind of like the short version of it a little bit, but
damn, that's the short version.
But it's like I just want people to like understand like the process of things, because people tend to think like shit happens overnight when it obviously doesn't at all. And it's like, you know, why not be transparent about your story? You know, like you only have one life, and this is my testimony. So it's like, why not share it the right way to inspire others? Facts. And that's exactly how I feel.
Facts, because that's true. Because people really think that you could just, all right, I'm gonna start a clothing brand. Let me go get a T-shirt from the gas station, put my logo on it, and then sell it out next week.
Yeah, like no,
bro, it's a lot. I ain't into the fashion like y'all is, but you know, I do my own thing, bro. That shit.
It's a lot.
It takes a long time.
And when I say Omar like broke it down that first night, like he was telling me the real about the game and everything. But lucky me, because I've always been in sales for so long, I can honestly say that each job prepared me for this. Like I literally learned something from every job. So I understand how sales go. I understand that I can have a good ass month this month and next month. I'm like, what the hell? Like I've been through that several times. So it's like I have the mental for this. I have the tough skin for this.
Okay. I you do have tough skin. You got a support system behind your back that's gonna kick your ass. So that's real. But so let me ask y'all something. What has been the toughest part of y'all journey?
For me, go ahead. Go ahead. Ladies first. Go
ahead. Well, for me, mine is really not that deep, but my challenge was finding the right manufacturer. Mm-hmm. Like that took months.
I can vouch
to find the right.
This not they blowing me. This sample not good.
Right. Like when I say I wasted money on samples, but yeah, I was disappointed because I'm like, damn, back to the drawing board. But again, like I understand the game. Like it's all a part of the game. Like it's all trial and error.
And as long as you stay consistent, I mean, failing is a part of winning. That's what people don't understand. People will fail once and they'll be like, I don't want to do this no more. You have to fail, because if you don't fail, you won't learn from that mistake, and so you won't do it next time.
Yeah.
The whole perspective on online of winning is, you know, just seeing picture after picture, video after video of the accomplishment. So it has like tremendously changed our mindset. Like so. Mm-hmm. But I was gonna say for me, what was very difficult for me is to find consistency in others when I first started my brand. Like for myself, I can grind, I can hustle, I can get sales. If I had a goal, I know where to go to meet those goals. I know how to set up pop-up shops. I know how to outsource, get whatever I need. But when it came to graphic designers or fashion shows and you needed people to support you, that was the hardest thing, to get people there on time and to have somebody finish or help you finish for your next season on the graphic design side. That was so difficult for me because in our community, we always have people who say, oh, I'm good at this. I'm good at this too, you know, but
Are
you
you
know, I
reliable?
never met a graphic designer that only graphic design. Like they have a 9 to 5, like, and that was the difference between me and a lot of other people. And I'm not trying to say like if you have a 9 to 5, you know,
Yeah.
you a bullshitter, but it's like, and excuse my language, but it's
No,
like
you good.
the thing is, when I said I was a designer, that's what I meant. Like I didn't do anything else. And it's okay to be a jack of all trades, but it's like a trade within what you're good at though. You know, so like I'm an artist. I paint too. You know, I do rugs, I do tufting. You know, and I'm also good with my hands, you know, so I could do, you know, any construction work, laying concrete, putting up drywall, cutting and sewing, whatever, you know, I'm still an artist. So it's like when I said I was a designer, people come to me for me to design their clothes. When I went to graphic designers, it was like, well, I work from this time to this time, and these are the most vital times. Like, and I only have this much, and I charge this price. And then you find a legit graphic designer, somebody that's really charging you by the hour or by the amount of work they're doing. You can see the difference between the person who actually says they're a graphic designer and they really mean it, and this is their number one craft, versus somebody who just does it as a hobby. So it was like, I always had an issue finding people who are consistent within the craft. So it's like, that's why it's great to know as a designer or a business owner how to do a lot of things yourself or hire individuals who actually do that craft. Like you make a lot of mistakes, like going to the guys or the homies or my sister cousin, or you know what I'm saying, like all of these different people you know around you. You got to step outside of what you know, your comfort zone. Like I was big and staying in our community, but I had to rock with some Indians. I had to rock with a couple Caucasian people. I had to rock with a couple Chinese people, because when they say this what they do, you know, they get an invoices by the hour. Like I got this new logo that needs to be done, blah, blah, blah. Or I go to the Art Institute of Columbia. So, you know, that was a big thing for me. Like that's what kept my season so slow, because I was dependent on my people, but my people, it was very hard for them to admit that this isn't their only craft for work. So, you know, that's
Don't read that text.
That's what was hard for me.
Yeah, don't read that text. That was an accident.
Facts.
Allie, I said don't read it.
Sorry.
She dipped all in it, so.
That sure did.
I'm over because I normally go off the dome. So sometimes I got right, and I just left it in the group chat, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna ask these questions. So,
sure.
but you finished? I ain't want to cut you off.
No, I'm finished.
Okay, so with us,
wait, I want to piggyback off of what Omar said a little bit, but I think that's why I'm taking my time when it comes to building a team, because I need people on my team that wake up thinking about LYC just as much as I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, come to me with ideas too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm wearing all the hats right now. When I say this shit is draining, like draining.
Now, let me say this. That's the thing. Okay, so just to piggyback off her perspective as well. The thing is, when I first started my brand, the first 2 years I did it alone. My brother came in with the Instagram page and the aesthetic of the Instagram page. So people believe, like, you know, they'll say, what you mean you alone in this game? Packaging orders, waking up having to check DMs and emails, return packages, also coordinating 32 people for a fashion show, makeup, reaching out, hair, reaching out, you gotta go to fabric stores. You gotta come up with the dimensions and the cut and the style of what you're coming out with by yourself. And that's not even a quarter
half. No,
that ain't even a quarter of what it takes to run a brand. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get your 1-800 number, your DONS number, your LLC.
see,
You know
your
what I'm saying?
domain.
Like your domain for your, it's a whole, like,
so much.
when you
It's
think
more
about
than just putting a logo on a shirt and some shorts.
It's so much deeper than that. Like,
yeah,
I'm just at the point where now I think I'm done paying for shit. Like, let that sink in.
Man.
Like, I think I'm done paying for stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much deeper than what people just see on Instagram. Like, it's so much deeper than that.
And that's another thing that I really hate about social media. People just take what they see off social media and run with it. They just think, oh yeah, they can do it on social media, so I can do it too. So it's like,
but also you also have to, I don't want to say fault the person that's posting, but it's like people don't be transparent. Like, it's so many people that put on a facade on social media is sickening. And that's why with me, when it came to this whole journey, I wanted to be transparent with y'all because I need y'all to see and understand how much it takes to do this shit. Like, people be like, oh, Allie, or Will Dria, when you coming out? Hurry up, hurry up. But I'm like, y'all don't know the next 50 steps I still gotta do. Like,
and I apologize because I was one of those people.
No, you cool, but it's like, I get it because when I first came out with my brand and when I announced my name, because I bought my LLC on June 19th, but I announced it. When did I announce it? I want to say I announced did my first post, I want to say August of last year. And little did y'all know, I already set my mindset that I was moving to Georgia, but nobody else knew. My family knew. I think I told my
You told me,
Nick,
you had told me that you was thinking about moving to live with your cousin.
But I remember, like, in September, October, my decision was made. Yeah, I know that for sure. Like, before New Year's, that shit was made up. But I didn't announce it on Instagram because I just didn't. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't none of their business anyway.
Right. But it's like I couldn't really get the ball rolling until I got out here. Mind you, my lease wasn't up till February.
So that's a part of my next question. Basically, what y'all both answered it, but I want y'all to answer. It's like, how important do y'all think it is leaving your hometown? Because we from Chicago, going to where y'all at in Atlanta, or just any other different state. How important is that to just leave one spot and go to another spot?
Very important. Very important.
Because a lot of people like to, a lot of people, I don't know, I ain't gonna say no names and I ain't trying to shoot no shade, but a lot of people in Chicago, they start their brand and they just stay there. They don't want to move. They don't want to try to go on trips and promote their stuff. They don't want to do all this, that, and the third. But so I want to know from y'all how important it is.
I feel like it's very important, but also this goes back to learning how to be alone.
Yeah.
Because when you're truly alone, you truly learn yourself and you see, and it's like a light bulb goes off. Like, I cannot explain it, but I feel like that goes back to when you truly learn how to be alone. And I feel like a lot of people don't know how to do that, which is an issue. And that's another reason why they are stuck. And I feel like moving outside of your hometown and moving into a different city is very important because the world is so much bigger than Chicago. The world is so much bigger than the South suburbs. It really is. Like, at the gym at Fineo, the gym I go to, like, I'm meeting people from all over, from Philly, from Detroit, from Connecticut. And like, the fact we all came out here to get our brand started and to come together as a fitness community, like, that shit is big to me. And that's the type of people I want to be around. Like, I came out here to do shit different, not the same shit that I was doing back at home.
And Atlanta's black
You know what I'm
ball
saying?
is perfect for y'all.
Right. And a lot of people, like, if you want to move away, cool, do it. I want you to do it, but move with a plan. Like, I've been planning this shit for months,
Yep.
like
Sure.
months. And if
Yeah.
you don't have a solid foundation and a solid plan, your ass is going to end up back home.
No, and it's
Period.
okay to wait. People don't understand.
And
People,
it's okay, right? And it's
people
it's
try
okay
to rush
wait.
shit
Absolutely.
so much that they be like, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. I could take, because I do that sometimes too. But I'm learning to, you gotta just chill for a second and
Yeah.
it don't
Like,
happen. Just stay consistent.
absolutely. Like, one thing that I definitely learned on this journey is patience. And I guess because I pray for it so much, like, God, please help me with my patience, because I didn't have any. But now, and my perception has changed so much. When things don't go my way, I don't trip, because
Yeah.
it's happening for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's either not right now, or it's not meant for me, or God just has something better in store for me.
Yeah.
And I always keep that in mind when things doesn't go as planned.
Mm-hmm.
So
And honestly, it kind of helps you. Yeah.
I was gonna say, so for me, I was all over the place. Went to 3 different colleges. Went to 4 different high schools. So Chicago became very small for me very fast because I knew a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
You know the whole Chicago.
when you start a brand, the whole point is expansion. Everybody in every part of the United States, or maybe even the world at this point, when I look at Amazon, everybody utilize Amazon. When I look at, a Walgreens or a CVS, it's all over the United States. When I look at JD Sports, when I look at Nike, when I look at Under Armour, Dick's Sporting Goods, you see them in a lot of different states. So my point is to expand, whether it's with multiple brands, or just my own. I want to get to a point where it's about luxury, at home goods, the urban side and the elegant side, athletic leisure wear, the whole nine. So, I want cups, spoons, knives, and plates, tables, chairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to be like a household name brand, and I think about all of these different stores, and that's what made me want to expand, like just from starting early, I automatically put 10 years ahead of everybody else just because of the time that I started. And the reason why I'm saying that, I got so much knowledge and detail off of traveling and understanding different perspectives. Like, Chicago is very political. So when it came to, for example, the north side of Chicago, if you wasn't a part of Chance the Rapper people, or you wasn't a part of the hype beats crowd, or you wasn't a part of like just the kids these days, that specific group up north, you couldn't just bring your product and sell up north in Chicago. So you could touch the east side, you could touch the south side, the south suburbs, you can head north towards Bolingbrook, Schaumburg, all of those different places, but you could not sell north. And when you sold in the on the north suburbs, people start to ask questions first. They test you. They want to know what you're about. And then when you sell out south, you got to get recognition. When you sell over east, it's like, I'm just trying to get fleet because everybody in the hood wearing the same thing. When you sell out west, they gonna support. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
they with that fleet shit too.
Say that again.
No, I was just saying out west, they with that, they're trying to be fleet shit too.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they like out west, like I was saying, they gonna support. And it's like, when I seen how choppy Chicago was versus I slid to Houston and just went to Mr. Sunshine's. That was his name. His name was Mr. Sunshine. He has a vegan shop in Houston. and I set up a table at his store, and I sold out of everything I had in my suitcase.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
just off of the way I dress, the way I carry myself, how aggressive I was with selling the product. And it's like, that's what opened my eyes up. When I moved to another state to sell my product, I'm like, I could do this anywhere. And it won't be as difficult. You know, knowing where you can sell and who's gonna support, that's a must. That's why you got to know your audience. So it's like, I had Chicago on lock, and I felt like Chicago's so small and you can only go so far. I left Chicago, went down to Houston for 2 weeks, understood like how the South worked. And then I said the South needs people to provide. So like, they move a lot slower. By us being from Chicago, we move quicker. We put a lot of stress. Let's go, let's get it. But it's like moving South, it make you just relax. You know what I'm saying? When I travel to the East Coast to DC, you know, people want to see that you popping. They want to be, because they're a fashion forward like town or city. So they want to see who got on what rapper talking about this brand, you know? So it's like, you get to learn, and it's like, that's how these major corporations dominate. You can't just stay in one spot because you're selling yourself short. And then it just got to the point where like we began to get global. We was getting orders in Africa. We was getting orders in London. We was getting orders, you know. So that's what I believe matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, that matters tremendously. Like, you have to know who's your target audience and how can you persuade one audience to another to do the same thing this one just done. So it's just like, you know, I think big, I think on a larger scale, but you know, you have to start small. That was my issue. I started big. I came through the door with embroidered t-shirts, embroidered jackets, you know, just went nuts. And it was like, but then nobody know who I was. So who are you to sell a $350 jacket to me? And I don't know, like, your startup brand, like, who are you? You feel me? Like, but I sold it. So, you know, like, you just gotta believe and push, you know.
And you definitely have been doing your damn thing, bro. You've been doing this. You did 6 years.
Absolutely.
I remember I wanted so bad back when you used to ask me, like, when I was in Korea, I think I was. It used to be like, hey, bro, you gonna get this and that. I didn't really have the money, because I don't know. A lot of people think being in the military, you just
sacked up. For sure.
I was making more money working at the day camp in South Holland than I was a month. And I swear to God,
I know.
Like, I was just like, all right, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm out now. I'm free, baby.
No, thanks. I was gonna ask you, what was it that you wanted? You remember what it was? Like, what item it was?
I don't even know. It's probably like one of your. It was probably like season 2, season 3, something. It was probably just. It was some tracksuits. It was some tracksuits. Okay. I wanted one of them tracksuits so bad, man.
I have is tracksuits left in your size though.
I'm gonna text you after this. Because I want a tracksuit so bad.
I'm like waiting to wear this set. Like, I'm like, damn, I need somewhere to go.
Yeah, they talking about it's about to snow out here in Texas.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, nah. They look comfortable.
Yeah, that's love. That's love.
No, like and even to have like the QR code on y'all, like, that is so dope to me. It's just
that's
easy
an essential
access
thing nowadays. Them QR codes.
I still gotta get you together. I still gotta get you together. I still got your shorts. I ain't mailed them off yet. I got you.
Hey, bro, just let me know. I'm gonna send you the thread.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so let me hold on, to piggyback off of Omar when he was saying about like the target audience and everything. I guess like being stuff, like, I don't count people pockets.
Facts.
You know, like, it's either you got or you don't. Like, I always had that type of mentality when it came.
And if you don't, it is what it is.
And if you don't, right. And so when it comes to like the target audience and everything, like, of course, I would want everybody to wear Love Your Cup, but I'm not gonna degrade or, you know, turn down my prices or try to accommodate this type of audience. No, because
Hey,
I want to expand. And then when it comes to support and everything, like I love all the support that I've been getting from everybody that I know, but I need to reach outside of y'all.
yeah,
Like that is my goal.
Because
Like I'm trying
they
to
gonna
reach
come
people that
regardless.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah. Y'all just answering question after question, and then I'll
Hold
be
on.
about to. What's
Hold
up?
on.
What's up?
Let me say this one last thing, bro. What I know for sure is that like 100%, once you leave your hometown and get support from another state, they
Come on,
come
Omar.
flying back. Bro.
Come on, Omar.
Like when I'm telling you, when I left Chicago and people started finding out, that's when, and it's recently. Like I never told anybody that I moved to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
When we dropped the new set that y'all seen with the shorts and the crew neck, that was probably like our second best season. And people were so thirsty over it, but you know, our minds get filtered through the internet so much that they slow down, they forget. So we weren't promoting it, but it was like a buzz. Like everybody was reposting it. Everybody was going crazy over the QR code. I think we got over 2,000 views on just that video, even though 2,000 not crazy, but for us not to come out with continuous drops online, like we stopped promoting the brand for a while because I had to take time off because I was going through a lot. But I noticed once they found out that you're not there, like my brother, he in DC, when they found out he was in DC, everybody started supporting more. They were sitting us up like, when y'all dropping, what y'all got next? What could I buy right now? You know, you get random, like season 6 and 7 shirts being bought that's left online as far as inventory. It's crazy. Like, so people, they know that once you leave Chicago, because of who we are and how we coming, that you don't have a choice but to make it in another state. Like, you know, because they're more lenient, they're more understanding, they support more, you know, like you can get a random person just to support you just because you're Black, or just because you're a great business owner, or just because you have great customer service. You know, you just get more recognition once you move around, you know, and that's just real.
I got a couple questions left, but Omar, this question for you, because Ali, you ain't really Dria, if you want me to say that. You ain't really started just yet. You ain't really due to the release date. That's why I don't want to ask you this just yet.
No.
But Omar, so as far as you do everything online, are you gonna have like a your own little space, like a shop where people can come in? And do you think that's more important than online? Which one you think will be better?
For me,
I want to answer this too.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, for me personally, my own shop would probably be better for me because of the creativity standpoint.
Right. What he wants to do.
Exactly. So like just coming in and having a personable perspective, like people having a personal perspective of how I move and what I can do and what I'm capable of is more important to me than to just have what I created and put it online. I want to show the process. I want to show where this material come from, how it's cut, how I come up with my ideas. Now I could do that at home, but it's just not professional enough, you know, for the internet. You start seeing the same background. You start seeing the same.
But also, Omar, show that transparency, show that grind.
I still do,
like, because you
know,
you do it with the seasons. That's what I was, as you was talking in my head, I'm thinking like, all right, if you had your own shop, I can see you putting your paintings up, because that painting behind you is fire, first off.
Appreciate you.
And you need to sell that thing. How much you gonna sell? But
put it on that song.
And I can also see it like on some Kanye stuff. Like you'll have this section with this season, then you go to the next rack, this section with this season, next rack, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that's what I'm seeing with, as you were speaking about it.
Yeah, totally.
What else?
You can go ahead, Ali. Like but yeah, just to put a little bit on top, like just to finish it off, I was gonna say, like, I just care about my favorite part about having a brand, and people think I'm like I'm insane when I say it, is the pop-up shops.
Mhm.
Like, you know, like the online stuff, cool. You know, you see the money, you get to relax, blah, blah, blah. But that's not really how we, like, who we are as a people. You know, like,
Interacting with your
we like to talk. We like to
Interact.
speak,
Yeah.
we like to interact. You know, like, I love to be the person that say I have my own brand 4 and 5 years ago, and people used to be like, really? Like, they used to just spaz, and I used to just pull it out my book bag. It was packaged nice already, and just feed them my story, feed them, you know, who I am. And it grew my Instagram so much. I was on Instagram for 2 years and had like 8,000 followers. So it was like this from off of traveling, going to events, pop-up shops, like whispers, like friends telling friends.
Networking.
It was like, you know, that was
Just
real
straight
important.
networking.
Just-
Yeah, it
I
was
know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. That's all that
No,
is.
for real. Like that's
Real.
how to make it in today's world is based off of networking and who you know.
100%.
Like
Social
for
media,
real. Like
social
it
media
really
is key,
doesn't.
but oh my bad, I'm sorry.
No, well, I'm just gonna say, like, unless you truly want to be in that corporate world, like being doctor, lawyer, nurse, whatever, yes, go to school. But in today's society, it's like you really don't need a college degree to be successful. Because
I ain't
I'm
going
not
back.
using my degree at all like that.
But what I was gonna say is
Yeah.
social media is key, but at the same time, like Omar said, you gotta get out there and interact with people. Because
Yeah.
if people just see you on social media and they just like, oh yeah, he dropping this, he dropping this. But if you getting on live and you talking to people, are you on them stories and you talking to people every day? Are you telling them, hey, we finna be at this situation, we finna, you know, you just you gotta talk to these people.
That engagement is key, and just with the pop-up shops, like that is very big and something that I definitely want to get in tune with. And it's just so crazy because, you know, the gym that I go to, Fineo, the owner DJ, he did his first vendor weekend, and it was fun yesterday. Like I really had fun at the gym yesterday. It was busting. Like everybody had their tables set up and all that, and I believe he's gonna start doing it like once a month. So, you know, I don't mind throwing him some breads just so I could set my table up and get out there. And when it comes to what else I was gonna talk about?
The two perspectives with the shop and
oh yes, the online. For me personally, I would strictly be online for now unless God brings something else into my life. But right now I'm strictly online because COVID hit, you know, and honestly how everything is transitioning to online only, it's like why put extra bills in my hands if I don't have to with a whole storefront and paying employees and paying electrics. I'm good on it. As long as I could get a solid team that I can pay and we could be successful that way, I'm straight.
So for me, just to piggyback off that perspective, like I want you to be able to walk in. Now, have y'all been to leaders? Y'all been to leaders before Chicago, right? So you see how small and narrow it is, like very boxy, just simple, straight to the point.
Yeah, it is.
That's how I want my store to be. Simple, straight to the point, just like that. One side is elegance, and one side is the urban. So it's like you can get you a collared shirt, some nice slacks, shorts, or a jogging suit set that look like a suit, but it zips up and has a round collar. You know, stuff like that. And then you get to the sporty section, you got the dry fit hats, you got the dry fit shirts, you got the jogging suits, you got, you know, so, and then once you're gonna take an elevator up and you're gonna see a whole factory in the back. You have a side where it's arts and like photo shoots, artists, you know what I'm saying? Like my design team, you're gonna have a design wall, and then you're gonna come to the other side and it's gonna be machinery. You're gonna have the print, the heat press, not the heat press, the DGT, the embroidery machines, the cutting garment machine, the EGTs, the TMAs, all the whole nine, bro. The ink press, the ink print, the whole vibe. So like that's my goal, like to really have my own manufacturing company / studio storefront.
And hey, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because 6 years, you know, a lot of people honestly don't jump until after they 10-year mark.
100%.
And that's when they start hitting that millionaire mark, and that's when they got their
Right.
team and they got this, and that set up. So I mean,
I appreciate that.
I don't think shit like we said earlier, shit ain't gonna come overnight. So
Yeah.
that 10-year mark is the mark when everybody just
Exactly.
blows, bro, for real.
And you know, like our generation is, like we said, like it's so much on a fast pace, right? Like we gotta get it, we gotta get that, like this gotta be done now, like this gotta get it. But but being around my cousins who are 15 plus years older than me and showing me the lifestyle that they have made me really realize like I have so much time.
Yeah.
I have so much time.
And
like
we are only in our 20s.
Time.
Real.
And now I feel like, you know, the 20s is like the new teens, right? And I feel like the 30s is the new 20s. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I really hate the pressure that society put on teenagers at the age from 16 to 18. You got to know what you want. You got to know what you're doing in your life. You got to know this. You got to figure it out. When honestly, to be real, you're really not going to know what you want in your life or who you truly are probably by the age of 25.
No, probably
for me personally. Me personally.
But
because
I don't think
I didn't realize. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it just I went from wanting to be a lawyer. I want to be in domestic law. I wanted to do that. I went from that. I wanted to be in the freaking sports world. I always knew I wanted to be something with sports. I wanted to be a sports agent, but once I realized you got to go to law school for that shit, I said, fuck that. So it's just the fact, like, you go through so many different eras in your life, you're not going to know who you really are at the age of 18.
But you know what it really is? It's social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because social media, you got these niggas that's cracking cards, you got these niggas that's fraud, all this extra stuff, and they making it like, oh yeah, you got to get this fast money. When in reality, they just slow down, enjoy your life, and be consistent. Because
make what you making make sense.
Yes.
Like,
absolutely.
They're not putting no value on nothing, bro. Like
they not.
No.
They just putting bullshit out, and they like, I did it, but you didn't really do it.
No,
you really want to take it.
No, sure. not at all. Like it's really sad because, like I said, everybody put on a facade. And when it came to me in this journey, like I think that's why I wanted to be transparent, to really be the opposite of what everybody see.
Sure.
So this last question, because I gotta get up out of here, and I know I don't want to hold y'all time, but this question, Ali, we talked about this one. This one gets on my nerves. With Black businesses,
right,
in customer service, how important? Well, I know how important it is, but I want to know how important it is to y'all, and what are y'all going to do to be different from the people that already, like the Black business that's out? Because a lot of Black businesses, they late with responses, they take forever to ship your stuff out, and then when you hit them up, it's always some BS. So tell me how y'all would be different from them, and what y'all would do to be different.
Honestly, right now,
same question, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The only word I could think of right now is just transparency, because it's just me. Like, granted, I have help and I have, help from my cousins and everything, but I'm the captain. I'm wearing all the hats. So honestly, the only thing I could ask for is just patience. To be honest, like I'm trying, the best I can, and to work as fast as I can, but at the same time, I still have a life. I'm juggling 2 careers right now, 2 very new careers, I should say.
Yeah.
So just be patient with me, and just like I said, I just more likely just gonna be transparent with everything, and if an issue comes up, I'll let you know.
I mean, if y'all need me on y'all support team for emails, I send great emails to people, to customers. I make people, because I do my own little businesses. We talk about that on a different day, but my own little business is all about them quick responses and being polite to people. Somebody asked me the other day, it was like, hot, cuz I do Toro. And I'm booked up until 2022. Man. They're like, how do you do it? I was like, honestly, I'm quick with my responses. I'm polite with them. And I just, and I keep the car in a nice price range. But, you know.
When it comes to like responses and everything, of course, I will be, you know, quick as possible and all that. And with customer service, like, hell, I have more than experience. I know how to turn that character on when I have to.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. But I was going to say, for me, just to top it off, it's like, I'm always on my phone, so I always make sure customer service is met, you know, from packaging everything. I check everything accordingly with inventory, emails. That's why I have my brother. He's great with paraphrasing, getting things done, putting the perspective in emails and just sending it out and making it happen. Whenever we had issues, we always keep a gap. So as soon as we send out a package, we have a return policy of 30 days. Within that 30 days, if we receive any emails, we check it every day. You know what I'm saying? Just to see what we have inside the UE email base. We just stay on point with that. If packages get lost, we have insurance. So we don't, you know, whatever the manufacturing cost is, that's what we need back. Because, you know, of course, you put your
price. I need to talk to you about the insurance.
For sure. I got you. And it's like whatever your price is that you pay manufacturing wise, that's what you at least need back, because that's how much.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They give you a little bit more, you know, so it's like,
yeah,
you know, they comes with like $50 insurance, $100 insurance if it's like fragile or glass and stuff like that. So it's like
written all down.
We just make sure we stay on top of those things. And then we also have to be lenient with our Black businesses, because it takes 10 plus people to run a corporation in general, or organization in general. You know, you got one person doing everything for a 10-man show. So it's like, you know, we also got to remind ourselves that that's enough stress within itself. That's why when I tell people when they first start in brands to take it slow, you have to. People just start trying to keep up with what they see, but they not understanding what all comes with it. So that's where the stress comes from. So you gotta really take your time, think about things from A to Z, ask questions, look at videos, and understand where you want to go, and you will be all good. So that's what I try to do, you know. But you know, like I said before, we have to be lenient with Black organizations and Black brands, because it's like we don't have the sources for real to really handle everything on point, you know, balancing our lives and depending on where we're coming from. You know, we just get an education now on how to start a business and how to excel in the business. So it's like we make a mistake within the process, you know, and a lot of people are getting burnt out with their businesses, or they not excelling, or they not succeeding. You know, that's why I say if you make it to a year, that's great. You know, if you make it to 3 years, it's unheard of, because after that, and that's a very short span. When you think about it, it's not though. You know, like a year, that's 12 months of consistency.
Yeah.
You know, like, and to make it to that second year, that means you can make it to year 10. You know, that's what people, they don't understand that, you know. So it's like, you know, 3 months of consistency with the brand, you won already. Cause it's like how Dria explains the gym. You know, you got to break habits. You got to take your mind out of that situation and be like, okay, you can do this, and stay continuous. Once you make it past that 3rd month, you have the perspective to make it to the 6th. If you make it to the 6th, you make it to the 3rd. You know, I mean, to the year. So it's like, you know, we just got to understand what we're getting into and just stand on point. And if you don't have the means to do it and touch on all of the perspectives from A to Z, that mean you're not ready to start a business yet. So that's just the advice that I can
and it takes money to start a business.
Capital.
Like, a lot of money.
Yeah,
like a lot of money.
So,
like,
so what it's taking a lot of money. I know I said that was my last question. Do y'all feel like
man.
do you feel like you should take out a loan, a business loan or anything?
So I could speak on that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this. My inventory and paying for customs, $10K alone. I'm gonna just say that. $10K alone. Paying for my shit, my inventory, and paying for customs, DHL to get it here in Atlanta, in Georgia.
Wait, that's just to get it to the States, into your house?
Yeah.
Well, paying for my bulk order, so paying for the whole order, and then customs alone was $1,800.
Hey, bro, I ain't even gonna lie. That what she just stated, bro. I got so much game on manufacturing, bro, from overseas.
Like,
now it don't make no sense, bro.
Crazy.
Like, just to get like our
crazy.
seasonal jogging suits, like when we was bringing them in. Now, picture we got 3 different colors, 4 different colors. So that's 4 different sets. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8 boxes. Each box was $500 to get. You know what I'm saying?
This is not cheap.
It ain't cheap at all. Even when the pandemic hit, they put 20% more on top of that. So it got outrageous. So for her to start her brand, she's spending like it really should cost $5K instead of 10. But they put that extra oomph on top, bro. It got crazy. Like it was brands selling all over the city, all over the world because of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, that manufacturing perspective was a great deal she just touched on. And that's something.
And because again, it goes based off your standards. You know, like I didn't just want to put out what everybody else have. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say I really took my time finding the manufacturer, like Google was my best friend for months, still is.
100%.
And I really looked into the fabric and the material and everything. And like I said, I wasted money on samples because it just didn't live up to my standards and my expectations. So when I finally found the right manufacturer, and I felt, and what I love about them, that they were able to send me samples of the fabrics that they use. So I'm testing it out. And once I felt that, I said, oh yeah, I'm going with them. I don't care how much they charge me. Yeah. Because I know my worth and I have my standards. I'm going with them. And I figured it out to get the money.
Facts. Because you don't just go with your first option.
No, you don't. And if you do, and if you got it right off the bat, kudos to you. But that, I'm just letting you know now. It's
that ain't normal.
Error and you're gonna fail.
That ain't normal,
you're gonna waste money.
And
you're gonna waste money.
I want to say that in all honesty, like I don't think that you wasted money when it came to, and not to try to correct you, but you didn't waste money, you just learned. Because it's like,
thank you.
You said,
yes, absolutely.
You had to fail first in order to understand what you needed. You know, you got to test the waters. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They just want to
jump
into it. Get it and they're like, oh, this is good enough. Let me put my logo on.
Exactly. Or how you start a brand, they want the answers. And it's like you figure them out. You know, like you did what a lot of people will not do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's why your brand will be successful.
Will take off.
and you did something, and you did something different, because a lot of you did gym wear. A lot of people do streetwear. And I tell you this before, people do streetwear. Nobody be like, oh, let me think of to put a workout set together. I have never seen nobody
but you know, honestly,
do that.
It's a lot. Not from where we from. I get that. But once I started doing my research, I was like, damn, I did not know there are so many active wear brands out there. They are out there. Trust me. It's a lot out there.
How many black active wear brands are there?
It's several, especially here in Atlanta.
Several.
It's a lot.
And 800s like the other ones.
In Georgia. And once and if you're gonna start a brand, especially with apparel, you have to understand your market and you have to do your research. Like I did my research with Gymshark, Nike, Adidas, Lululemon, all of them. You know, like I have my notebook, I have a list, and I wrote down every um price range that they go by. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, okay, they more likely sell their leggings from like, let's say $30 to like $85, depending on the brand. You know what I'm saying? Like I went from Nike to Adidas, to, like I said, to Gymshark, to
I remember you sending me that.
Ethica, to, you know, like I really did my research to see the price range and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to stand out was because a lot of those brands, um, from a consumer standpoint, it is a little frustrating sometimes when you see the leggings here and then you gotta freaking find the sports bra over here, and that shit is nerve wracking sometimes because it could be sold out here and in stock there. But what I wanted to be different was to, like, everybody has to buy a set. The only luxury that you have is to buy your size, because top and bottom for us women, it is different. And
100%.
so I wanted to, you know, stand out with that. And then also when it came to the gym wear, again, I wanted to stand out in regards to making it versatile, because we love to wear that stuff just to go to errands. And I remember when I used to just wear leggings and sports bra, and people would automatically assume that I'm going to the gym or I'm coming from the gym. The whole time I'm just running an errand. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I want us, well, the women, to be able to wear my products and do whatever they want. That's why I just didn't want it to look like gym wear. I wanted to look like they could do whatever they want in it.
Thanks.
So,
Yep.
yep.
Thanks. Well,
That
that's the end of
concludes.
that. So y'all got anything? Do y'all have anything that y'all want to plug, talk about before we get up out of here? I know Ali, I know you got some. Omar, you got anything you want to talk about? Y'all want to, you know, put it out there before we get up out of here.
Yeah.
Support.
So,
Girl, you got more to support Friday.
yeah,
Because I'm gonna post this. This is gonna be out before Friday.
for sure.
Oh,
What I
yeah,
want to say, my Instagram is Omar, Omar, Kofi, Kofi, last name Denteh, Denteh. And my website for my clothing brand is uesupply.co. So .co, not com, but co. uesupply.co. And you can just check me out. You can grasp information from there. If you have any questions, you can DM me.
Yep. Period. And then for me, you can find me on Instagram at Dria_fit_code. And I will be launching Friday. Website will be www.loveyourcup.com.
Hey, going crazy.
That's what's up.
And I will have both of their websites, they Facebooks, they Instagram, whatever they else they want me to post at the bottom. I appreciate y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all for getting a little gang, because we got to some details.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And,
trust me, you know me and Omar, we got more. We go way deep.
and we can do this again if y'all want to. This whatever. We got time. Well, I got time. I don't know about y'all. Y'all business entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur, but I do other things.
For sure,
again, though, for real, I appreciate y'all, man. And I wish nothing but best for y'all.
For sure. Likewise, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, and with that being said, that is another episode of Leave It
on the table.